Okay, welcome back. This is recorded.
Hello.
This is recorded directly after episode 2 of the Local Nerd News podcast.
Hello.
So you already know who we are,
Yeah.
and that Movie Man is not here currently.
Yep. All right. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this segment since it started off with a pretty well three-viewed note. So the next movie I said I was going to do was Man of Steel, which I didn't say in the last episode, but I said off screen. Yeah. So
this is how they could have done it.
Yeah, how they could
Man
have
of
done
Steel.
Man of Steel. So, director Matthew Vaughn expressed interest in directing a Superman movie, like a classic one. So, I just made him the director for this movie.
Okay.
And he's also co-writer with Jane Goldman, who he's worked with in past movies like I think Kingsman: The Golden Circle, X-Men: First Class. So they really work well together. They really make really good movies. And here are the main cast. I think it's about 10 characters. So we have Henry Cavill as Superman. And
It's the same actor.
Yeah. Most of them are the same. We got Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I'll just do the ones that I haven't changed. There's Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
Okay.
Martha Kent as Diane Lane. Lara Lorvan as, I'm really sorry, Ayelet Zurer. That's a really cool name. I took this from Batman v Superman. Mercy Graves, played by Tao Okamoto. I'm really sorry. And now for the new cast members. Lex Luthor.
Not Jesse Eisenberg.
It's not Jesse Eisenberg, but it's one of these 5 actors. I couldn't pick. So here
in the comment section below, list which actor would play Lex Luthor best.
Yeah. I did it on skill. I didn't do it on require. I didn't do it on, well, I did it on, I want this guy, but I also want this guy. It's really hard. So, here we go. It's Lex Luthor, played by either John Hamm, Mark Strong, Denzel Washington, Terry Crews, and Ralph Fiennes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the comment section below, which one of those 5?
Yeah. And now for Jimmy Olsen, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Donald Glover, Dave Franco, or Daniel Radcliffe. We got Jonathan Kent. He could be played by Kevin Costner still, but I think I added these guys in: William Fichtner and Tom Hanks. Because who doesn't want Tom Hanks as your Earth Dad?
Yeah.
You want to keep your powers a secret.
Yeah. The only problem with having Tom Hanks as one of the main actors is he could be captured by pirates, blown up in an oil rig. A bunch of stuff could happen. He could run for ages.
No, that's Tom Cruise, dude.
No, either one.
Jor-El. We could have Russell Crowe, but I think Colin Firth or George Clooney.
I'll go Clooney.
Nah, this will be a redeeming role if George Clooney was picked for this movie. Because I feel bad for him. So bring him back, make him do Jor-El. He could probably do a really good Jor-El.
He wouldn't have much screen time, but
yeah,
that could be a benefit.
Yeah. And now for the villain Parasite, played by Ethan Hawke, who I think Rudy Jones is a loser character. Ethan Hawke to me looks like he could play losers. So
no offense.
No offense, Ethan Hawke. You're not a loser. You're not a loser. But I'm just
saying.
I'm just saying that you could be really good for this role. That's basically what I'm saying. You're not a loser. You're a really cool dude.
Although I highly doubt that he's gonna watch this or listen to this.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke in the comment section. Give us a heart attack.
Yeah.
All right, time for this similar budget. Zack Snyder is not frightened this at all. He's not in this movie. He's not here to neck snap villains.
Yeah, Superman doesn't kill, but yet,
All right.
Broke Zod's neck.
Yep. Now, time for me to say the story. Are you ready?
All right.
The film opens up on Krypton, where we see Jor-El staring outside to see Krypton. It's visually spectacular. Lara Lorvan is seen holding baby Kal-El in her arms as he turns around. After a connecting moment between the three, Alright, we see Jor-El speaking to the Kryptonian Council about Krypton's inevitable doom. So the core is heating and it's going to blow up.
Yep, they obviously don't listen.
Jor-El, desperate to save his newborn son, builds a rocket large enough to fit only one passenger, as there was no time to make additional seats in a time frame of, let's say, 20 days.
Alright.
Baby Kal-El is placed into the rocket and flies off to Earth. Flash forward 8 years. I'm going to say 18. No.
Not 80.
No. 8 years, where we see that Kal-El was brought in by a couple in Kansas, Jonathan and Martha Kent, and given the name Clark Kent. It is this age where he discovers his first powers: super strength, super speed, and super jumping.
Not flying, so it's like bounding.
Yeah, bounding. Which is a throwback, because that was Superman's original powers. So if you got that Easter egg, pretty cool.
Leave a like if you got that Easter egg.
Yeah. And he reveals them after being in an accident, brackets misunderstanding, that involves showing his best friend. And the best friend will, it's probably like a big part into Clark in this beginning stage. The Kents soon try to help Clark calm down, and does so, ending with the family hugging each other, and because he's losing control. Flash forward 12 years, where Clark is said to be in his room after something horrible happened to his best friend. Jonathan
Just when you said flash forward 12 years, so when he is 12 or when he's 20?
He's 18 now.
Okay.
He's 18 now. Wait, no, actually no, he's 20. He's 20 years old. I'm sorry, I can't count. Jonathan goes up to and asks Clark's why he's upset. Clark replies with his best friend dying from cancer.
Yeah.
And that he had to watch for months and wasn't able to do anything about it.
Despite all his powers.
Yeah, and this is taken from a story by Jeff Loeb. I think it was Jeff Loeb, who his son died from cancer.
Yeah.
And
I remember you telling me about that.
He wrote a story about it, how Clark had this friend, cancer was growing, and what he had to do was, make the best of it. And this,
So it's like a modified version of that.
Yeah. Respects to you, Jeff Loeb.
If you listen to this.
Yeah, if you listen to this, respects. Jonathan explains to Clark that having these extraordinary powers can come with amazing feats of the common good. But it's important to realize that even if one has the power to do anything, it doesn't mean that he could do everything. It's important to know that you try the very best you could do to save those in trouble. And the person you tried to save will thank you for never giving up on them. This moment is to help Clark be motivated to be the very best he can be. And this is,
leading up to
who he wants to be.
The Superman that doesn't kill.
Yeah, and then the scene ends with Jonathan hugging his son, which is a really powerful scene in this movie. It's been a couple days since this incident, and Clark reveals that he has joined the school newspaper as a reporter. This was meant to honor his late friend, who suggested that Clark join the school paper because he was good with journalism. Adding to the great news, Jonathan gives him a crystal that he found recently in the ship Clark crashed in, and didn't notice it before. Jonathan tells him to test it out somewhere with no one around. So where does he go? He goes to the Arctic.
Yeah.
He goes to the Arctic and creates the Fortress of Solitude. Going in, Clark discovers Jor-El is a hologram and learns about who he is, where he comes from, and why he came to Earth. Alright.
And if he ever has any other questions, he can always ask the hologram.
And there's your first act, your Act 1. Now for Act 2. Flash forward to when Clark is an adult, even more of an adult at this stage, and decides to go over to Metropolis to work as a reporter. Before leaving, Jonathan and Martha give Clark a suit, which the both of them say will hopefully help Clark in the future. Clark is given the car that Jonathan and Martha found Clark with when he was a baby. So it's memento. Here you go.
Yeah, you don't need this, but here you go.
Yeah. Clark travels to Metropolis, where we see Clark enter the Daily Planet and meet Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, and Lois Lane. Clark gets the job as the reporter. He gets it.
Yeah.
You get the part.
Oh god, just that. I just had a thought of like J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah. You're fired! No. Doesn't happen in this movie. Lois is seen to be given the assignment to have an interview with Metropolis' Humanitarian of the Year, Lex Luthor. We see Lois interviewing Lex at LexCorp, where we see that he has upgraded the transportation lines in Metropolis. After the interview, skipped a couple lines. Lex is seen as a powerful business person with a calm attitude. Who do I see Lex Luthor as? During the interview, it is evident that Lex's motivation is to gain power by public appeal to become the leader of Metropolis. But he's not saying, you will like me and I will be your ruler. He's like, I'm trying to gain the appeal that I've never had as a kid. I want to make this city better. And maybe as a leader. Maybe as the new mayor of Metropolis. And then after the interview, Mercy Graves, Lex's assistant, escorts Lois out of Lex's office. We then cut to Lex walking with Mercy and a couple of scientists in the laboratory section of LexCorp, where they discuss a new chemical compound that can absorb energy to generate power. The scientists point out that the chemical compound absorbs the energy of living creatures instead of renewable energy sources. Lex tells the scientists to fix the problem, as he will be at a conference where he reveals this new compound to the public. Nearby, a janitor named Rudy Jones walks past this. A week has passed, and we see Clark assigned with the crime of graffiti in Metropolis, and Lois is assigned to attend a conference held by Lex Luthor. See, is this creating a linear storyline? Can you follow this for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's not all over the place.
Yeah, Man of Steel. While driving on a bridge, Lois takes Jimmy and takes a taxi to the conference. While driving on a bridge, we see that someone is standing in the middle of the road with a bomb attached to his chest. He's giving out demands while everyone on the bridge is panicking. Lois tries the best that she could to calm down the suicide bomber. I don't want it to be like, help me. I want to say, no, I will help you. But not like that. But he's rambling about and threatening to activate the bomb. We cut to Clark, where we see him on a street corner interviewing someone about graffiti as an art form. Slowly Clark hears siren noises, and soon the panicking on the bridge and Lois. This freaks out Clark and rushes to an alley, where he decides to change into the suit that his mother made for him. So it's in a suitcase. It's in a suitcase. He's holding a little suitcase like he did in the old days.
Yeah. Hey, he doesn't wear it under his suit or anything, so he just goes.
Actually, nah, that's a really good point. He wears it.
Yeah.
I make him wear it so we can see this moment.
The typical moment where he just rips his laser and everything off.
Yeah, like we almost got him Batman or Superman where he took off his tie and that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Have the typical Superman scene.
Yeah.
Have like, this looks like a job for Superman.
This looks like a job for Superman. Take off your tie. Cut to him in his suit.
Yeah.
We cut back to the bridge where we see Lois trying to talk the suicide bomber out of activating the bomb, but he sees Jimmy with his camera. And this is where he starts to freak out and activates the bomb. All of a sudden, an explosion occurs, but above the bridge. Everyone looks up to see the explosion and someone flying down to the bridge. As he lands, everyone is shocked. Clark calms down the suicide bomber, and the suicide bomber runs away out of pure shock. Clark turns around to see Lois and Jimmy, and this is where we get Superman in his suit, where we get a full body, show of his suit. Clark asks if the both of them are alright, and then afterwards smiles at them and then flies off. And Jimmy takes a picture of Clark as he flies off. End of Act 2. We then cut to the Daily Planet, where everyone is discussing about this. Lois writes an article about the incident, calling him Superman.
Because of a big S.
Big S. Sorry. Lex sees the article and is jealous about being second to this hero, and we see his anger about being forgotten.
It's like on the newspaper, it'll have like Superman being the main image on the paper,
Yeah.
and then Lex Luthor will be like a tiny.
Yeah, about this chemical compound.
Yeah.
And this really upsets him. And he also tries to find a way to get rid of this Superman. Later that night, we see Rudy cleaning in the lab, and is found by a couple of thieves who've broken into the lab, trying to get this compound. They try to take Rudy out, but he accidentally knocks into the new chemical compound. As the alarm goes on, the thieves try to escape, but are trapped in lockdown. Rudy is seen to have transformed into a purple monster, who then kills the two thieves by absorbing their life forces, and then faints in exhaustion.
So he probably doesn't know his powers. He tries to grab them and then ends up absorbing.
Yeah, but he faints because, overwhelmed.
Yeah. First time absorbing powers.
Yeah. Clark decides to use his new identity to perform heroic deeds and actually gets interviewed by Lois Lane, telling her about where he was from and where he grew up, but he doesn't give too much away about his past for his protection and the protection of his family. In the meantime, Rudy is being treated by Lex and witnesses footage of Rudy killing the thieves, discovering that they were drained of their energy. Lex decides to manipulate Rudy into eliminating Superman. Rudy adopts the name Parasite. Parasite draws out Superman by draining the lives of a few civilians and manages to absorb some of his energy. Although losing control with Superman's powers, Parasite manages to defeat Superman and captures him. Lex watches over the battle from his satellite and is intrigued. There we go.
No.
I feel like this is a weak third act, is it?
No. It just has the villain development.
Yeah, the villain development. Yeah, I want to develop these characters, and if some of the characters are not developed in this film, I would have done it in the sequel. Like, why did Lois become a journalist, or where did Jimmy get his camera from? Yeah. We know his dad.
Yeah. But it's interesting that Parasite captures Superman.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Not so super anymore.
Where? Oh, here we go. Superman confronts Lex in a chamber in LexCorp, and Lex displays his hatred for Superman. You're a fascist.
Okay.
I hate you. Nah, I'm just making this up.
Just making some stuff up, yeah.
That's not what he will say. He won't say that. Lois is wondering where Clark is, where she discovers about the fight in Metropolis. Lois takes Jimmy and discovers that Parasite is linked with Lex's new chemical compound and Lex's involvement with this. She sneaks into LexCorp with Jimmy, where they somehow manage to slip past into the underground section of the tower but get captured. Superman, feeling his powers returning, hears Lois and Jimmy, frees himself, and saves them both. Getting them to a safe distance away from LexCorp, Parasite shows up and a showdown between him and Superman occurs. Superman wins the fight by using his known knowledge about their last encounter. Superman flies in front of Lex's office in the night and threatens him not to do this again. So it's like this iconic scene where Superman's crossing his arms, flying, and they
outside the window, just
and
where
they're,
Lex
and
is
they're
standing.
just like exchanging stares, and then Lex has a smug smile when he's talking. So it's a really cool scene
because Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Here we go. Clark is in his apartment and on the phone with his parents about what happened with Parasite. They tell Clark that they found a crystal in... Oh, dang it. Sorry, I meant to delete this. Alright, all of a sudden, Clark hears knocking on the door, and it's Lois. And she tells Clark that she knows that he's Superman.
Yeah, because it's a horrible...
And then she insults his disguise method.
Yeah.
I think she finds out. She doesn't find out with the fight, but she finds out when she looks at Superman.
Yeah, because glasses can't hide an identity.
And he actually explains his disguise, but she says that she won't tell anyone, and no one else knows.
Yeah.
Even Jimmy doesn't know.
Yeah. What an excellent reporter deduces a superhero's identity and goes, yeah, no, I'm not going to report that.
Yeah. because she figures out she remembers the interview and she realizes why he didn't tell her. Sirens are then heard, and Clark changes into a suit and flies off. Now for the mid-credit scene. So excited.
Okay.
In the mid-credit scene, Lex receives a meteorite from the military to use as a new power source. He takes it to the lab. Lex has Parasite in his laboratory, where he tries to get Superman's DNA from Parasite, but is having difficulty with extracting it from his body. Suddenly, Parasite is weakened, and they get the DNA sample. Lex looks at the meteorite and is intrigued.
Okay.
The end. Alright, what did you think?
Well, it's linear. It's not all over the place.
It is linear, but I feel like the third act is a little weak.
Well,
is there any weak points in this? Well, I think there is, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, just the part where Lois discovers his identity.
Yeah.
Like, she's not a genius or anything, but
she is a genius. She's a Pulitzer-winning journalist. I think. It's
I know, but like, she doesn't have like a
Put
genius.
it in the comment. Is it Pulitzer-winning journalist? I don't know.
I don't know, but she doesn't have like a genius level IQ like Lex Luthor. And when they're having that stare off, you would have thought Lex would have.
Yeah, but I don't think he's ever seen
that.
Clark yet.
Yeah, probably. That's probably a reason why.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go to prison because they
can't link him to it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We get Lex Luthor. We get Lex Luthor in a movie where he doesn't go to prison.
Yeah. Like it should happen.
Like it should happen.
But yeah, it was actually very good.
Yeah, and this sets up, if we're going to do it like my version of DCEU.
Which was in episode 2 of the LocalNerdNews podcast.
Episode 2, then this sets up Bizarro in the Trinity movie. There you go. Alright, if you liked it, put it in the comment section below. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. And, some things I forgot to address with Green Lantern. With casting Carol Ferris, I said keep it the same because there'll be an incident later on in the movie, early in the movie, where we know why she gets Ferris air. It's because her father is dying, and he left her Ferris aircraft. There's probably going to be a little bit more character development, and Sinestro doesn't kill the guy in the mid-credit scene because Green Lanterns can't kill. So he tortures him, and then he gets the information he wants.
Then leaves.
Okay, there you go. That's what I forgot to say.
That was, just so you know, that was in the last how they could have done it.
Yeah. But anyway, if you like the story, put it in the comment, leave a like, and see you later.